Hello, my darlings! Today we're going to be checking out 3 free games of Steam 2024. You know, my darlings, my dad started to use Steam, and he asked me, Yukino, are there any free games on this Steam thingamajigger? Are they any good? That's when I realized that there had to be more people other than just my pops asking the same question. So, we're going to explore 3 games, my darlings, that came out in 2024 on Steam that are 100% free to play. Let's just dive right in. Coming in at number 1 is Once Human. Since Starry Studios' release of this title, it seems to have consistently made Steam's top 10 list. That's a great sign for a free-to-play game if I've ever seen one. As for the gameplay, the setting lands the player in a post-apocalyptic world, where grouping up with others is encouraged to fight monsters, compete with enemy factions, and build up a fortress to protect from the world's many dangers. If I had to place this game in a genre category, it would be multiplayer survival shooter. I must admit, my darlings, I am really loving the art style of Once Human. Is it high fidelity enough so you can count everybody's nose hairs? No, but that doesn't matter because this game is very stylized and very pretty to look at. Also, it's got a really interesting story in which everything on Earth is contaminated by an alien creature called Stardust. But that same alien element can be used as a power source by other players. It really does take the whole concept of what doesn't kill you makes you stronger to a whole new level. Now let's take a look at what some of the player base had to say, shall we? Rainbow Teeth, who recommended it, said, Pros, gameplay loop is solid. The building is addicting. I already feel like my base is my dream home, level 30. Progression is relatively quick. Decent challenge when competing events that are higher level than you, 5 through 10 level. And certain bosses when playing solo. I don't believe the monetization is predatory. Nothing bugged or game breaking for me. Has charm. Is fun. Events happen in the world and people congregate to wump some extremely fun stuff. Cons. Privacy and system security concerns due to kernel level anti-cheat. Not that it's out of the ordinary anymore, unfortunately. If that's not a problem for you, well, then you're probably gonna love this. I want more music on the radio. I feel like these songs are burrowed into my brain, and I need to keep it on for the pets to stay happy. So, give more music, my enormous cat says. Sarcastic Shepherd, who didn't recommend it, said, This game has some things going for it that I really like. The survival elements are well tuned for what's there, depleting at a rate more reasonable than some similar games. The building is more solid, plus being able to relocate your whole base with just a few button presses feels wonderful. And it does scratch that itch I've had for DayZ-ish games where one doesn't suddenly get shot from miles away. Art style, while not being super unique, is pleasant to look at and has a nice amount of detail even though the interior spaces can become unnaturally dark in the daytime. Unfortunately, all this comes at the cost of possibly the worst optimization I have ever felt. I have tried every level of setting and combination of graphical options possible. This game will chew up all of my RAM and then proceed to chug like an obese stream engine trying to climb a hill. When a few performance patches come through, I will reevaluate. But for now, this one is going back on the shelf. Breaking news! This just in! My old man sank a few evenings into this game and he had this to say. I like it. Well, there you have it, folks. In conclusion, a lot of players find this game to be fun and addicting, but it does eat up a lot of RAM. So checking the system requirements and making sure that your computer can handle it before downloading Once Human is recommended. If you give this game a try, my darlings, please let us know how you liked it down in the comments below. The next game on our list is The First Descendant. It made its way up to the top sellers list on Steam, coming in at 12. Nothing to sneeze at, however, it did get heavily mixed reviews from its player base. But don't let that cool you off. The First Descendant from Nexon Games touts charming characters, strategic boss fights, and 4-player co-op gameplay. It's also got nice graphics and pretty skins. As for the storyline, the player protects humanity and the Ingress continent while becoming a descendant and discovering the secrets of their role. The story's pretty basic, but this game is a looter shooter, so it doesn't really need much more story than that. Now, on to some player comments. Darkroon, who recommended this game, said, "This free game has great curb appeal and decent combat. Given the aesthetic in these times, this is just what I needed. Shoot stuff with powerful and smart hotties with neat but not too crazy backstories. As for the monetization, it's cosmetics and the normal Warframe type junk. Would be better if you could craft some of the harder Descendant parts, but so far, no complaints. I know grinding the ultimates is supposed to suck, that's why I bought the one I like the best." While Dr. Blaze, who didn't recommend this game, said, "I've spent 125 hours in the game, and while it's a good game, it's just too grindy for me. Despite all the time I put in, it still feels like I'm at the beginning. I have to reformat my character so many times, and it's really hard to get resources. If you don't want us to lose interest in the game, you need to address these issues quickly, or you're going to lose a lot of players." To sum it all up, nice graphics, pretty skins, and Warframe-esque gameplay. However, patience is needed if you intend to take on the grind of this particular game. It's also rated M for violence, blood, suggestive themes, and strong language, so proceed with caution. Do you play this game, my darling?
Let us know in the comments down below what you think of it.
In our number 3 spot is Dark and Darker. This game found its way into the 67th spot, still well within the top 100. And the reviews it got from its player base were fantastically positive. As for what this game is about, I liked that the team behind Dark and Darker made it easy for me and all the people reading its storyline. It describes itself as an unforgiving, hardcore first-person fantasy dungeon adventure game. You really can't get any more direct than that. Its description also states that it's going for classic appeal, seeking to capture the wonder and awe of classical fantasy adventure games harkening back to older times. And it really is giving that 90s flavor in the best of ways, especially the graphics. While you're exploring the dungeons and finding loot, you can party up with friends in a 3-player squad. Now this game is difficult, my darlings. It describes itself as unforgivingly hardcore, so if you've got some patience to burn, this game is definitely for you. However, this game is early access. There may be some unforeseen bugs that pop up. There are also 2 versions of this game, a free-to-play and an upgraded full game mode that will be coming in the future that will cost money. The devs had this to say about it. "We hope that this version, the free version, will give players a chance to experience some of what Dark and Darker has to offer, and to give players who have not played since the playtest a chance to see what's new before they dive into the full edition." So, keep that in mind. Now, on to what the patrons of this game had to say about it. Sharper, who recommended this game, said, "Lives up to the potential of a fantasy looter extraction game. Combat mechanics feel really nice. You can tell that this game is really cared for by the devs. Game is constantly getting better." Zane, who did not recommend this game, had this to say, 4 out of 10. In summary, a lot of people love this game, but the pricey paywall and the bugs are a real problem. So it might be worth waiting for the full game to come out, since maybe by then some of the kinks might be ironed out. Also, this game is rated M, mature for blood and violence, so be careful. My darlings, did you play this game and liked it?
Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below.
Well, that's all I've got for you today, my darlings. If you liked this video, please show that like button a little bit of love. And also, please subscribe, you know, if you want to keep me company. Also, I'd like to give some love to my darling Patreons. Thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimasu. You're all so wonderful. And I'd like to give a special shout out to Gorshk and Ray099. You really are my superstars. And if you would like to become a member of our Patreon family, you can find the link down in the description below.
Thanks for checking it out.
And of course, my darlings, never, ever, ever, ever forget, I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.